Okay, let's talk about one of the biggest, and I mean biggest mistakes a new business can make. And it all comes down to your price tag. Now, the idea is pretty simple, but it's incredibly powerful. Your current pricing might not just be holding you back, it might actually be trapping you, preventing the very growth you're working so hard for.
All right, let's really dive into this quote, because it's the key to everything we're about to cover. This is all about a fundamental shift in how you think, moving away from a mindset of just surviving to a mindset of actually scaling. It's not just about covering today's bills, it's about funding tomorrow's ambitions.
So where does this trap even come from? Well, it usually starts with something that feels completely logical at first, a pricing model that honestly almost every single new business owner uses.
And this makes total sense, right? If your prices don't cover your costs, you're not running a business, you're running a very stressful charity. You got to pay your bills. But, and this is a huge but, while this is a necessary starting point, it is also the foundation of a massive long-term problem that can keep your business small forever.
This whole just enough or survival pricing model, it has some really serious consequences. It doesn't just limit your income, it actually creates this vicious cycle that is incredibly hard to escape from. Let's break down what that actually looks like.
So here it is, the downward spiral. You start out by setting your prices low to get those first few clients in the door. Great, but what you end up with is a bunch of clients who love you for your price, not necessarily for your value. Then, when you realize you can't possibly grow on those razor-thin margins and you have to raise your rates, poof, that original client base often disappears and you are right back at square one, hustling to find new clients all over again.
So how in the world do you break this cycle? Well, it all comes down to a fundamental mindset shift. You have to stop thinking like you have a job and start thinking like you're building a business. Let's take a look at what that really means. This right here, this is the core difference. The job mindset is totally reactive. It's focused on right now. How do I survive today? But the business owner mindset is proactive. It's focused on the future. What do I need to build to thrive 3 years from now? You see, one creates a job that you can never escape from, while the other builds a real, scalable asset.
Okay, theory is great, but let's get practical. To build a real business, you have to price your work to fund the team you're going to need tomorrow, even if that team is just an idea in your head today.
Just think about it for a second. To really scale, you can't be the one doing all the work forever. It's just not possible. Eventually, you're going to need to hire other people to deliver services, manage projects, handle all the admin stuff. If your current price only covers your time, you will never, ever be able to afford them.
This is what makes that idea of future costs so tangible. Your price isn't just for you. It needs to include a little slice for a future manager, for someone to handle payroll, for the person who's going to answer all the client emails. You are literally building their salaries into your price tag long before you even think about posting a job opening.
And when you start pricing this way, something really amazing happens. You're not just taking all that extra money home as personal profit. No, you are strategically keeping it inside the business to build what's called your financial runway.
This is the ultimate payoff. A financial runway is that cash reserve that lets you make the leap from a one-person show to a real team leader. It's the business's own investment in its future, giving you the capital you need to hire without going into debt or panicking about making payroll.
Now this is a critical point that almost everyone misses. When you hire your first employee, your company's overall productivity will probably go down for a little while, not up. And you're thinking, why? Well, because you have to stop doing client work to train them, to manage them, to get them up to speed. That runway is what pays the bills during that essential but temporarily less productive transition period.
And you can see that strategy right here in action. For months, before you even think about hiring, you're using that future-focused price to just stack cash in the business. So by the time you actually onboard someone, you've got this buffer to cover their salary and that temporary dip in your own productivity. It ensures a smooth transition instead of a super stressful cash crunch.
So the question I want you to ask yourself is this. Take a really hard look at what you charge. Is your price just a reflection of where you've been? Or is it a strategic tool, actively building the bigger, better business that you truly want to have? The choice, really, is yours.